I'm Cory Johnson, and right now, this is one of the most enjoyable moments of my life. Wow. But it wasn't always that way. Just a few minutes ago, I looked like this. I'm down in Cape Canaveral on my way to experience zero gravity with a company called Natch Zero G.
I'm exactly the wrong person to be doing a zero-G flight.
Zero G has recently partnered up with Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic for passengers who've already purchased tickets on one of his suborbital flights to get acclimated to the experience of weightlessness. Zero G is also offering the experience to anyone else who will pony up to $5,000 for the privilege. Here's how it works. The plane climbs to 24,000 feet, in our case over the Gulf of Mexico, and goes into a series of parabolic arcs. The aircraft climbs at an extreme angle, 45 degrees. It feels like 1.8 Gs, nearly pinning passengers to the floor. And then at 34,000 feet, it begins to dive at an equally extreme angle for half a minute. At that moment, passengers experience weightlessness. And then they do it again, and again, and again, and well, there's a reason this plane is known as the Vomit Comet.
Actually, less than 4% of our participants get sick. It's very rare.
Therese Brewster is one of our zero-G guides, and I'm going to need some numerical hand-holding here.
Now that suborbital is becoming more of a reality, these companies are starting to talk about training, and they're bringing their customers on board to experience microgravity. So it's really a wide-open market being created now with commercial space.
And that brings us to where we all started.
This is crazy. Not sickening at all. Unlike anything.
And this experience comes at a price. A Virgin Galactic ticket costs $250,000 for about 6 minutes of weightlessness. That's $694 for each second. But Zero G is charging $5,000 a head for 7.5 minutes of weightlessness. That's only $11 a second. Weightlessness on the cheap. But Zero G has its eyes on more than space tourists and thrill seekers. There's some big money looming from NASA, and several companies are vying for a lucrative contract from the increasingly outsourced space agency.
The government space race is over. The private corporation, capitalist space race is on. It's all going to be private companies now.
And liftoff.
Right now, NASA is paying the Russians about $70 million each time a U.S. astronaut hitches a ride to the International Space Station. Private space maker Export says it'll charge $90,000 for suborbital flights, but only has room for one passenger at a time. And Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos is still in the testing phase for his company, Blue Origin. He hopes to take 3 astronauts in their new Shepard capsule. The odds of that working? Well, before I can figure that out, we're back on the ground. So paying $5,000 might seem like a lot of coin, but think of the extra perks. You get to keep the flight suit. And then there's this set of Twitter pictures that make you the envy of your friends. Can you really put a price on that? One small step for me, one giant leap for Bloomberg Television.